So here we are, trainers, the final Italian National Championships 2016. My name is Jay Blake, and I'm joined by Marcus Statter.
Yeah, it's the very final game, of course, the finals of this Italian National Championships. 2 full days of competition, best of 3 Swiss, 9 rounds. Our 2 competitors that made it all the way in the final, they mastered that, but then they were also able to climb their way in the single elimination bracket, defeat some of the world's best players, and now they are here to battle it out for the title of the Italian National Champion.
I don't think we can stress it enough. 9 rounds of Swiss, best of 3, and then a single elimination bracket is a lot of Pokemon to go through. Lots of thinking, lots of intense games, and so this final is due to be an amazing series.
Definitely, and not only do we have 2 very interesting competitors that have not really made too much they didn't grab too much attention. People don't really know about what to expect from those players, but their teams, they speak for themselves. Really creative stuff coming out. We have 2 Rayquazas, 2 Mega Rayquazas, in fact, battling it out against each other. And who would have expected that? Yeah,
guys, so I mean, if you like this this final, which is going to be very Rayquaza heavy, and this tournament's been extremely Kyogre heavy as well, why don't you use the hashtag #PlayPokemon, talk a little bit about which archetypes or which teams you like to see, and if you go on to youtube.com/Pokemon, facebook.com/Pokemon, you can also like our content, watch some of our videos about previous VGC tournaments, and get all the news about upcoming events as well.
Yeah, go ahead, tell your friends that the finals is happening, because I'm pretty sure they also want to see that. And I can't wait to just jump into the match, because once again, two really cool teams battling it out against each other there.
But first, we've actually had the finals already for the junior division and the senior division, so we can announce that Corey Elliott UN has won the junior division, and Michel Gavelli has won the senior division, so congratulations to both those players.
Yeah, congratulations. It's really noticeable that in most recent years, the level of play in the senior, but also the junior division has really raised drastically. Some of the best seniors can definitely also beat some of the best masters in the game. In fact,
we've had David Kopech today.
Exactly.
We've also had Alejandro Gomez, who's had extremely great performances after graduating from the senior division.
Exactly, and both competitors that we have in the final right now, Yeray and Javier, there they are with their Spanish flags, both from Spain, and both of them are actually also pretty young. So
look at these guys. There we go. Big celebrations coming out from Team Spain there.
Yeah, they know each other. They are friends. They're coming from the local area. I think they travel together, and now they said that they kind of know what to expect from their opponent, but then again, they never played each other in a tournament match before.
And now they get the chance to for the Italian National Championships in 2016. It's going to be a great match. They both had to beat Italian players to get to this point. So the Italian National Championships denied to its home country.
Yeah, in the end, we do have 2 foreign players, in fact 2 Spaniards making it all the way to the final. So that itself, just goes to show that some other nations also are really prepared for those tournaments. And I'm sure though next season the Italians will try to reclaim their title here.
Oh yeah, we've had quite the Spanish contingent with us this weekend, and also a lot of support from Italy as well. There's a big crowd outside watching the match as it's about to happen.
Yes.
On the left-hand side of your screen now, you can see Yeray Amue Nunez, and on the right-hand side of your screen, you can see Javier Señorena. And we're about to kick it into team preview right now. So Javier's team on your screen: Aegislash, Rayquaza, Thundurus, Xerneas, Mienshao, and Togekiss.
So if someone asked, like most people, a couple of days ago or a couple of weeks ago, which of those Pokemon would you expect to see in the Nationals finals? Maybe they would have said, Xerneas, Thundurus, but then, kind of stops there, you know?
Yeah, the list kind of dies off a little bit there.
Even the Rayquaza being a creative choice at this point in the format, I would say. But making the Xerneas Rayquaza combination work magnificently here in this tournament. But his opponent, of course, Yeray, also has a very interesting team. A little bit inspired, but some of the teams we already saw at the UK National Championship in Liverpool. For him, we do have the Rayquaza, Kyogre, Hitmontop, Crobat, Togekiss, and Ferrothorn.
Well, I mean, in the semi-final that we just saw, Yeray had a very strong performance against Mark Duo, and we saw how flexible this team is, how defensive. It's got a lot of really good defensive synergy, lots of very bulky Pokemon, and he can use that to his advantage against teams like Javier's, and he's going to have to be able to get a lot of bulk and a lot of damage output from that as well.
Yeah, I think both of those teams kind of also have the benefit or the advantage that their opponent will probably not know how exactly to play against them, whereas they have trained and prepared for the common matchups at home, and so yeah, it will be very interesting to see how they can react to such an uncommon team now.
Yeah, exactly. In the finals of the Italian National Championships 2016. So give it up for Yeray and Javier. It's going to be an amazing match. We've got a Rayquaza and Hitmontop for Yeray, Togekiss and Rayquaza for Javier, and Yeray has moved away from his common lead.
Yeah, in fact he did. So he's not trying to go for the more bulky and slow approach, but yeah, leading off with Rayquaza here indicates that he wants to deal a lot of damage and he wants to deal it right now. So yeah, we do see the Mega Evolution coming out right there, and yeah, both players don't really give each other any room to breathe, as yeah, the first turn will core. Most of the time we will probably see that Delta Wind ability be in effect, but of course yeah, the Primal Groudon on Yeray's end, I would guess it is some the Pokemon that he would also like to have in this matchup. But now, yeah, Fake Out pressure is of course real. So Javier decides to protect his Rayquaza first, but
Yeray reads it.
He doesn't stop, you know. After that semi-final match against Mark Duo, he keeps going and lands the Protect here, the Fake Out right into the Togekiss, and I guess yeah, the Draco Meteor into the Protect of the Rayquaza of his opponent.
And I think it must be quite a nice feeling for both Yeray and Javier to not have to worry about the weather war too much. Both of them just have a Rayquaza.
Yeah, that's true.
There's a Kyogre here, so both of them on the first turn just thinking, oh, I'll just go all in, Mega Evolve, get that Delta Stream up and get my full stat capability.
Yeah, as for the lead matchup, I do think that Javier's Togekiss is actually in a very fantastic spot right here. It can go for the Follow Me potentially the next turn to draw away yeah, that Draco Meteor that we saw coming out from Yeray's Rayquaza.
But there's a feint going onto it before it can redirect any sort of attack, so it's going to take a little bit of damage. The Follow Me comes out, and the Dragon Ascent coming out from Javier's Mega Rayquaza, going up into the atmosphere and slamming down onto the opposing Mega Rayquaza, dealing loads of damage, leaving it with just under a third of its HP. Defense and special defense dropping right now, and we reveal the Life Orb once again, showing the amount of damage there, and the Draco Meteor coming out from Yeray's Mega Rayquaza, going to hit the Togekiss, but obviously doesn't do any damage because of a Fairy type immunity.
Yeah, being redirected there. Interesting choice here from Yeray coming out with the Feint as well as the Draco Meteor. I would have expected the Dragon Ascent to come out to deal with the Togekiss first, but now, yeah, even though Yeray's Rayquaza is a little bit more bulky and he did get off that Intimidate, that Life Orb Rayquaza coming out from Javier did still so much damage. So yeah, Ferrothorn coming in now for Yeray, it's probably going to be one of the most important members in this matchup if he wants to stop that Rayquaza and Xerneas combination.
Yeah, and also it does deal significant damage to that Togekiss as well. There's 3 Pokemon on Javier's side of the field that Ferrothorn can do massive damage to. We see the Dragon Ascent once again from Mega Rayquaza going on to that Ferrothorn. It takes a little bit of recoil from the Iron Barbs and also from the Life Orb, and we see the close combat going on to the Mega Rayquaza there, leaves it just in the red, and we've got the defense and special defense drops happening onto the Hitmontop right now. Togekiss hasn't attacked yet, but it's going to drop a Tailwind right now, so the whole of Javier's team is going to be boosted in speed for the next couple of turns.
Yeah, Javier's lead choice was just really good. I'm sure he made a plan going here into this final. His Togekiss is in such a good offensive position as yeah, there are no resistances in the Pokemon that Yeray chose for the battle to the flying type attacks. So both Rayquaza and Togekiss can really make use of that with Air Slash and Dragon Ascent respectively. And yeah, Hitmontop, I mean, it was nice for the Intimidate and the Fake Out, but yeah, close combat, even though it did a little bit more than I expected, yeah, not really in the position you want to be in.
So Mega Rayquaza leaving the field there, fearing a feint from the Hitmontop, and then we're going to be replaced with Aegislash here, so if feint is coming out, then it's not actually going to hit it at all because of its ghost type immunity to normal type attacks.
Yet another Pokemon that has a very, very good defensive typing here for this matchup against the Hitmontop, and yeah, I think Yeray might already be thinking about the potential second game where, yeah, I would be surprised if we saw the Hitmontop again, but yeah, also the Aegis Slash soaking up all the damage, healing back up with leftovers, and yeah, like quite a few people might have doubted Javier going into this final because his team is just so unorthodox, and people did not really know what to expect coming from it, and like why was it doing so well. But yeah, you can definitely see Javier making plays here, having the defensive synergy to switch around, now bringing his Togekiss and the Aegis Slash in position against his opponent's non-restricted Pokemon. But yeah, he's just maneuvering him so well, and he did so much damage already to his opponent.
Well, the Tailwind's going to help out Togekiss here. We've got the fact that he can use Air Slash to knock out this Hitmontop on the field and deal significant damage to the Ferrothorn. But Aegis Slash is such a good Pokemon to bring in here.
Especially if it has Substitute, which could be something we could see here, because that would be the perfect opportunity against Ferrothorn and Hitmontop that can't really touch it at all.
Yeah, I could also see if it's a physical type physically trained Aegis Slash, it could also have Gyro Ball as well to deal with Xerneas, but also do good damage against Mega Rayquaza. Air Slash coming out from the Togekiss onto that Rayquaza, and as Marcus just said, we see that substitute. Aegis Slash hiding behind the substitute doll and not taking any damage for the rest of the turn.
Yeah, so Ferrothorn's attack, unfortunately for Yeray, yeah, evaporates here. It goes into that substitute. So Yeray felt like keeping the Hitmontop around a little bit longer would be helping him. So he switched into his Rayquaza, and thanks to that Assault Vest that we saw earlier, it is able to soak up those special type attacks really well. But now he really has to think about how can he start grabbing some KOs, because Rayquaza, first of all, it would need to bypass that substitute from the Aegis Slash. But if Togekiss decides to go for the Follow Me, then yeah, it's really tough for Yeray to do any damage to the Aegis Slash of his opponent at all.
So both trainers may have 4 Pokemon left at this point in the match, but the momentum is really with Javier. That Tailwind has really helped him out here, and his choices of bringing in certain unorthodox Pokemon at the right time has really helped him out. We've got the Kyogre hitting the field now for the Mega Rayquaza. It's going to activate its Blue Orb, going full Primal Reversion. Primal Kyogre is now on the field, setting up the Rain for the first time in the match.
Yeah, so Kyogre is one of the best Pokemon that Yeray has on the team to deal with the Togekiss and Aegis Slash combination that we were seeing coming out from his opponent. Air Slash hitting into the Ferrothorn though, and Aegis Slash looks like it also wants to go for an offensive move here. Let's see, if it's like something like a Shadow Ball.
Yeah, there's a Shadow Ball right there.
Okay, goes also into the Ferrothorn. That could actually come close, and it gets the KO there with a critical hit.
Yeah, critical hit there. I'm not sure if anyone had actually done the calculations for that attack, if Yeray knew that he would possibly could survive that without the critical hit there. But obviously, Aegis Slash has such good offensive stats.
Yeah, certainly. Aegis Slash is one of those Pokemon that I think do have quite a bit of potential, but it's really tough to figure out which moves that you want to use, because, for example, Substitute and Wide Guard are 2 supportive options that are really helpful. You want to have a physical Steel-type attack most of the time to take care of opponents' Xerneas, so including all of that into a single set, because, of course, you also want to have King's Shield. It can be difficult, but it looks like Javier found a moveset that really helped him over those 2 days of competitions, and now it's also proving itself in the final here.
So we have the Protect coming out from the Togekiss here, doesn't want to take any damage for the rest of this turn, and we're going to actually see Aegis Slash changing its stance now. It's going to go behind its Substitute Doll once more and activate King's Shield. If any Pokemon uses a physical type attack against it, their attack stat will be lowered.
And yeah, we do see attacks coming out. That was Water Spout from the Kyogre, and I think potentially the Overheat going into the Protect there. So Yeray potentially knew about the fact that his opponent could just go for that double Protect, and now it'll be even tougher to knock out this Aegis Slash.
Yeah, Aegis Slash is a Pokemon that's kind of, I mean, obviously we don't see it too much in VGC 16, but it was very important to VGC 14, very important to the early stages of VGC 15. It's had a lot of different movesets over the time. Most people were using it, especially before. When we see that Javier has that Shadow Ball option on him, do you think he might be running a mixed set, or how do you think he deals with the Xerneas match?
Yeah, as I said, Gyro Ball or Iron Head are what most trainers opt to use on their Aegis Slash to hit that Xerneas, even on the boosted special defensive side. But now we will see the Overheat coming out, and yeah, that will take care of that substitute, but yeah, depending on how this Aegis Slash is trained, I would think it can probably take the Water Spout, since we're also in Delta Stream right now.
Yeah, so here comes that Water Spout, as you said, Marcus, going to hit both the Pokemon on the opposing side of the field, and both survive with under a third HP there. The Citrus Berry is going to activate for Togekiss, and it's going to leave it with just under half HP. The Air Slash coming out onto the Rayquaza, is it going to pick up the damage? Ooh, 4%. A survival there, and we've got the the Aegislash is now changing its stance, going to use a Shadow Ball. Who's it going to target? It's going to target that Primal Kyogre, doing some hefty damage there. It's going to leave it with about, do about a third of damage, and just getting it in position for later knockouts.
Yeah, also
Usual
getting that special defense drop that could come in handy later on. But yeah, if you Yeray, you might be really content with how this turn played out, because not only did he not lose his Rayquaza, he was also able to knock out the substitute and get off that Water Spout. So we did not see a Wide Guard coming out from the Aegislash or anything like that. So yeah, Yeray might be in a position where he can finally grab that first knockout here.
Yeah, well, Aegislash doesn't want to be the first Pokemon to go down. It's going to use King Shield once again. We've got the Dragon Ascent coming out from Rayquaza, which even though it's got Dragon in the name, is actually a flying type attack, so it can land a hit onto this Togekiss and remove it from the battle. But Aegislash will not be taking any damage at all because of the King Shield. We've got the special defense and physical defense drops onto the Mega Rayquaza, but Aegislash sticks around.
Yeah, I was going to say, Yeray in his previous matches that he played on stream, he was just able to maneuver around his Pokemon, switch a lot, play really defensively, base off on his defensive synergy. But in this game, the Togekiss and the Aegislash from Javier are actually, yeah, it looks like they're just like a blockade that Yeray could not overcome. But finally he was able to find that opening to go for the Dragon Ascent as well as the Water Spout to deal a lot of damage. However, now Xerneas making an appearance here for Javier, and yeah, it'll be tough for Yeray to contest that. I think he probably has to go for a Dragon Ascent into the Xerneas, because if Javier was able to get up that Geomancy, that could be yeah, game ending.
So we see that Dragon Ascent coming out here, and it's probably going to target down that Xerneas. We see it going into it, yeah, so taking down one of the more standard picks on Javier's team. We've got, again, the physical and special defense drops happening onto the Mega Rayquaza, and we're going to see the Dazzling Gleam coming out from the Xerneas here. It's going to pick up the knockout onto the Rayquaza and do a lot to that Primal Kyogre, leaving with just 68 HP left.
Yeah, we did see that special defense drop coming out from the Shadow Ball earlier, so that's really helping him right now, because not only does he do more damage, due to how Water Spout works, he's also able to hang in there with both of his Pokemon, Xerneas and Aegislash, both able to hang in there, and now another Shadow Ball should take care of that Kyogre. So both restricted Pokemon of Yeray going down the exact same turn, and Javier has to be happy about that.
Yeah, he's got a bit of a smile on his face right there, and a formidable position. Both his Pokemon have survived the turn. Xerneas is not a Pokemon you want to stick around too long. Aegislash there showing off its blade. It's got a lot of special attack stats to it, but it also has those formidable defenses as well, showing that it can survive several Water Spouts.
Yeah, Aegislash has a very, very interesting conception with stance change as its ability, and now Yeray is only down to yeah, his Hitmontop that comes in right now for the Intimidate, but yeah, there's probably not too much this Hitmontop can do, especially considering that it's probably only got a fighting type and a normal type attack to do damage. So yeah, Yeray will concede this match, and Javier leading 1-0 in this final.
Yeah, so Italian National Championships 2016 here in Milan. Javier Señorena has actually managed to win the first game. Yeray has lost the first game. It's going to be difficult now because he's in a position where he's coming back from a loss. He now has to really focus, relax, and try and figure out his game plan going for game 2.
Yeah, in his previous appearances on stream, he was always the one dominating the set. In fact, that was only the 6th game that he lost over the course of this weekend, while he won 24 of his matches.
That's such a good record.
That's such a good record. Really incredible performance coming out by him. And I think that if he can adapt to what he saw coming out from his opponent, because yeah, once again, Javier's team being so unorthodox, it can be tough to figure out that, okay, the combination of Aegislash and Togekiss is really hard to come across.
Yeah, it's not something you think about.
Yeah,
before.
so now he knows that that is a threat, and that he has to do something about that. I think actually bringing his own Togekiss could help a little bit in those Mega Rayquaza mirrors, but of course against the Aegislash it can't really do too much. In fact, yeah, having the Ferrothorn available to Yeray might actually see like something that can really help him against the Xerneas that was coming out from his opponent. But yeah, as we saw, Xerneas was not actually the fairy type that did all the work.
No.
That Togekiss, yeah, was really doing
Well,
really helping him there.
With both trainers being able to just forget about the weather wall, activate that Delta Stream, Togekiss was able to just be like, okay, I don't have any weaknesses anymore. You don't really have anything that can hit me super effectively apart from that Ferrothorn. I can just sit here, redirect, get my Tailwind up. It's really, really excellent positioning for him.
Yeah.
So we do see a big change up here in the leads. We have the Crobat and the Kyogre for Yeray, and then we have the Xerneas and Rayquaza on Javier's side of the field.
Yeah, as we already mentioned, bringing Hitmontop in there a second time after how it did in the first game. Yeah, you probably want to start looking into Pokemon that can actually do a lot of damage. Crobat is, of course, a very nice choice here because due to Super Fang's nature, yeah, he can deal 50% of damage to any of Javier's Pokemon except for that Aegislash.
Yeah.
But yeah, for that he does have the Kyogre, and yeah, if his opponent let off with that Togekiss again, then just going for a Super Fang and Water Spout potentially could have really helped him. But yeah, since the Togekiss is not coming out, now Yeray is the only one that does have a Tailwind user on the field, so he can get the speed control right in his favor.
But speaking of that Togekiss, it is now going to hit the field. We're going to see a Mega Evolution coming out from Rayquaza here. But so now do you see a Super Fang coming out from the Crobat directly, or is he going to set up a Tailwind?
Yeah, I think setting up the Tailwind is probably what he would like, also considering that his opponent had the Xerneas right there. I mean, yeah, just going for the Tailwind, and then depending on what type of moves it has, also maybe a Taunt could come out. But yeah, he just goes for the Tailwind, makes sure that he will outspeed even a boosted Xerneas with his Crobat at least next turn. And we do see the Dragon Ascent coming out, so yeah, nice play on Javier's end. He was able to get in his Togekiss without taking any damage at all, identifying the right target for his Dragon Ascent, and he gets a knockout here with a critical hit the first turn again.
Yeah, so Crobat now has to leave the field. It has fainted, will return to its trainer, but it kind of did a job. It got his Tailwind up, which is something that Yeray really wanted to do. He can get a free switch into one of his Pokemon in the back now, which is going to be able to make the most of that Tailwind, but you kind of think that he would have wanted it to be able to stick around a little bit longer and spread some Super Fang damage.
Yeah, with how Yeray's team works, it's very important to keep all Pokemon around for as long as possible. Now, as you mentioned, he does have the Tailwind up though. His opponent's Rayquaza has a reduced level of special defense, so Water Spout cannot be redirected by the Togekiss and should be able to do a lot of damage. But yeah, since Togekiss can still just go for that Follow Me, and Rayquaza, of course, still is so bulky, it'll be tough for Yeray to get a KO here. So Javier can potentially protect around a little bit and then maneuver himself into a position to stall out that Tailwind and then start dealing damage again.
Yeah, so we could also see that extreme speed coming out from the Rayquaza on Javier's end to limit the amount of damage that Primal Kyogre can do. But first off, we're going to see yet another Mega Evolution from Rayquaza roaring into the sky, going to give it a big swish. It loves being in the final here in Italian Nationals 2016. And we're going to see a Protect coming out from the Rayquaza on the opposing side of the field. Obviously doesn't want to take any big Water Spout damage here. We're going to see a double Protect, which is a very safe play. A lot of players like to do this when faced against a Tailwind. It allows them to waste the opponent's momentum here, and it will reduce the amount of turns that they've got to deal with faster Pokemon.
Yeah, and I think Yeray made the play that he needed to go for. He went for the Extreme Speed into his opponent's Rayquaza and also for the Water Spout. So Extreme Speed being the same priority as Follow Me, and Rayquaza obviously outspeeding the Togekiss. It doesn't even need the Tailwind for that. So he would have been able to hit the Rayquaza on the lower defense and then follow it up with a Water Spout, and that would be enough to get the knockout here. So I don't think there's too much Javier can do to prevent that play from happening the next turn. And yeah, now he's the one that has to figure out how to, just make it through these turns.
Yeah, so here we go. The plan is still the same. We've got that Extreme Speed coming out from the Rayquaza. Then the Follow Me is going to activate from the Togekiss. And are we going to see that Water Spout from Primal Kyogre? Of course we are. So big damage coming out now. Full HP Kyogre. It's going to do huge damage to that Togekiss.
And it is enough to get the knockout on Rayquaza. And yep, that's what we were talking about. That is exactly the way Yeray needed to play here. And I mean, for Javier, he could have potentially switched in his Aegislash if he brought it to the battle, but even then he would have had to take that Water Spout, and yeah, you don't really want to do that,
no,
right?
You don't want to waste your Pokemon's HP when you don't need to. Obviously, he would prefer to have a restricted legendary Pokemon at some point, but he gets a free switch in now, so it's not all is not lost.
Yeah, I think I would have preferred to see an Extreme Speed coming out from Javier's Rayquaza just to try and get off a little bit more chip damage before fainting. But now Kyogre is still at full health, and he can just go for another Water Spout here.
Yeah, so Togekiss can basically do the same thing. It can go for a Follow Me. It probably will survive this turn. We saw from the damage output last time that it could survive yet another attack. But we're going to see Rayquaza using that Dragon Ascent, which is going to be redirected by the Follow Me. And 2 attacks here will take down that Togekiss and do a mighty chunk chunk to the Xerneas.
So yeah, in the end, that Crowbit really proving to be very vulnerable, setting up the tailwind for both the restricted Pokemon of Yeray, now outspeeding his opponent. Unfortunately for Yeray, the Togekiss just barely able to hang in there, so this Water Spout will hit 2 targets and thus have its power a little bit decreased, but still does so much damage to that Xerneas.
But we're going to see the Geomancy coming out from Xerneas, and if we know anything about Video Game Championship 2016, it's that a Geomancy Xerneas can put in so much work.
Definitely, especially if the last Pokemon that Javier brought to this battle would be his Mienshao. Now, we did not get confirmation on the last Pokemon that he brought here, and if it was the Aegislash again, then yeah, he does not have those supportive options. But if he had that Mienshao right now, yeah, a mid-game fake-out can really change things up a lot, and also yeah, planning ahead, if there's the Ferrothorn coming in for his opponent, the high jump kick from Mienshao can do a lot of damage to that, and yep, there we see the Mienshao.
So, I mean, this is something that we've seen a lot, actually, in the most recent European events, is that some players are choosing to keep a secondary fake-out user or their primary fake-out user in the back of their party to get a bit of momentum late in the game. If things aren't going their way, a fake-out can really go a long way to putting it back in your favor. Yeah,
we saw that quite a bit with Weavile in the recent past, but Mienshao, another very interesting twist on Javier's team.
Yeah, so we actually can see the Rayquaza leave the field, and Togekiss coming in for Yeray, obviously taking a leaf out of Javier's book, making that change up. We're going to see a Protect coming out from the Programmable Kyogre here. Doesn't want to take a fake out. It's going to go onto the Togekiss, which is extremely bulky, takes it extremely well.
It has the Rocky Helmet as the item, so now that Focus Sash is not in effect anymore, and the Dazzling Gleam coming out from Xerneas, though that will do a decent amount of damage to that Togekiss.
Leaving it with just 48 HP there, but a very comfortable switch for Yeray. He wants to keep that Rayquaza around for as long as possible. Xerneas is very, very heavily damaged, so if he gets a good damage roll or a critical hit with his extreme speed, he might be able to put a lot of pressure onto it.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. However, on stream before, we did confirm that Mienshao of Javier actually does have the Quick Guard attack.
Oh no.
So he can block himself, he can protect his Xerneas from that extreme speed. So not entirely sure if switching in the Togekiss at this time was the perfect thing for him to do, because of course he was taking a lot of damage. Now he can't go for a Follow Me, redirect any attacks coming out, but yeah, it'll be tough to redirect that Dazzling Gleam.
Yeah, you can imagine that the Dazzling Gleam is going to come out here. Did we also see that his Xerneas runs a Hidden Power as well?
Yes,
so not the usual, not the usual moveset.
Some more tricks coming out. Yeah. So right here, I would expect the Togekiss to try and go for the Protect here, and yeah, he's trying to get rid of his own Rayquaza, so he's able to set up the Rain once again for his Kyogre to make sure that he does as much damage as possible. But depending on how this Rayquaza is trained with the Assault Vest, I think this can actually take it, and yep, there it is. So it was
and a high jump kick as well.
Okay.
So there's that knockout that Yeray wanted.
Yeah, but actually I think he would have preferred it if Rayquaza just went down, because then the high jump kick going into the Protect would have costed quite some health on that Mienshao. But yeah, so sometimes you're trying to make a switch that your opponent, that you want your opponent to knock out your Pokemon, can be a little bit bad if you have the perfect EV spread to live that attack.
So yeah, this is something that Pokemon trainers are trying to think about. Obviously, they want Pokemon to survive certain attacks, but there are some situations, as we just saw, where they'd rather be knocked out, and should they survive it, they lose the momentum that they've just gained from a switch.
Yeah, but now Yeray ends up in the position that he wanted to have anyway. However, he's not trying to go for the Follow Me, because he knows that Dazzling Gleam potentially knocking out his Togekiss anyway. And now we will have to see, will the high jump kick connect? It does connect.
Wow.
How much damage is going to do? It will knock out the Kyogre, and
that is it.
Yeah, and that is it.
That's all she wrote.
Yeah, Javier is your 2016 Italian national champion for the Pokemon video game. Yeray, fighting all the way in the final, but in the end, he will have to be satisfied with that second place.
No, I mean, an incredible performance from both Yeray and from Javier. An exceptional final, really well played by both players, and there's just so much control exerted by Javier in that game, and both players, obviously, both from Spain, both friends. So we shouldn't see too much of bad blood between anyone. And the camera's getting right into Javier. He's really enjoying all the attention. You can see it on his face there. We're actually,
definitely proudly wearing the Spanish flag over his shoulders. Yeah, and he having some fun with the camera there. And he was able to leave almost 300 players in the Masters division behind him. And now he is the one that finally made that Rayquaza Xerneas combination work, and he's able to claim his first national title.
It's incredible, and obviously you saw the steely gaze of a winner right there, staring down to the camera like, I am now Italian national champion 2016. Everyone that I played, guys, I'm here. I've arrived.
So we have Alejandro Gomez, we have Arash Amati, and now we also have Javier Señorena.
Yeah, we've got so many great European players who have competed over the last couple of events. And then we've got, we've still got some other events coming up later in the year, but not any in Europe. Our national champions have been decided.
Yep, and here we see the crowds, his fans, of course, his friends. They're all happy to see that, two of their friends from Spain were able to make it to that all-Spanish final. And here they are.
There they are.
That's beautiful pictures there with the Spanish flag. It's just really nice.
This is what we love about Pokemon events, guys. So many people from so many different areas of the world, especially in Europe, but also in North America. Everyone travels down to certain events, and you get to meet new friends. You get to make certain experiences of your life that you'll never forget. Especially for these guys playing in the final of this level. Yeray is one of his first ever Pokemon tournaments. He's one of his first nationals, and Javier becoming Italian national champion.
Yeah, amazing. Just also, something else I will never forget is this incredible team. I will definitely go home and try out that Mienshao, Togekiss, Aegislash, Xerneas, Rayquaza core.
That Aegislash had such a presence in that first game. It's not something that we see too much in VGC 16, and obviously he just knows when to bring it in. It's something that people aren't really prepared for. So we saw that feint, and he's like, Yeray was like, I'm gonna get some damage off here, and Aegislash just turned up. I was like, no, I'm here. I've got this. It's fine. Deal with my substitute.
Exactly, and here he is actually coming in.
Speaking of substitutes, I think we're going to let Marcus go now, and we're going to get a quick interview with the winner. So I'll be back with your Italian national championship, Italian national champion very shortly. Welcome back, trainers. One final time, I am here with your Italian national champion.
Hey.
How's it going, Javier? How are you feeling? You must be so overjoyed.
Of course, it's perfect. I was not thinking I was going to go to win the national, and it's perfect. I was trying to go to Worlds from 6 years ago, and now is the opportunity.
Yeah, now you've made it. Now you've got an Italian national championship under your belt. You've got your invite to Worlds. It's going to be incredible. You must have another, you're just going to be walking on air for the next couple of months before you go to San Francisco in August. You must be so happy. You're just going to be every single day, it's like, I'm going to Worlds. It's going to be amazing.
My summer is going to be perfect, and San Francisco is
Yeah. So obviously you spoke a little bit about playing against Yeray, and what did you think about him going into that match? Obviously you guys haven't played in a tournament before, and you're friends, you know each other, but you've never played Pokemon against each other at a tournament. So when you saw his team and when you saw how well he did you have to think really quickly about the plan?
I was thinking that I was going to lose, but I was feeling that in his team he has Crobat with Tailwind, Ferrothorn, Hitmontop with Wayward, and that was not good for my team, that is based in Xerneas.
Yeah.
So I was thinking that I was going to lose, but finally won.
Well, I don't think that actually happened, did it at all? You managed to really put in a load of work there. So we had, in the first game, we had Aegislash making an appearance, which was really, really great for the stream. So why did you choose to bring it to that first match?
Aegislash.
Yeah, Aegislash.
Yeah, because I was thinking he was going to bring Hitmontop and Ferrothorn, and it was perfect there.
Yeah, of course. I mean, Ferrothorn can't really do too much damage to it with its grass-type attacks or with Gyro Ball, which we already saw. And when you managed to get that substitute up, it was just really, really great in such a good position.
When I put a substitute against something like Ferrothorn, it's perfect because he can touch me and I can spam attacks, and I had to X as other Pokemon in the field, and it was in a great position.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's great to have both you young competitors making it through to the final. Obviously, Team Spain must be so happy. Like, both of you managed standing there holding the Spanish flag was an incredible sight to see. And you managed to beat most of the Italian players that were coming in. Both of you played a Italian player in the semi-finals. So having even though Yeray lost, he must be still happy that it was a Spanish final here in Italy.
The Spanish final were it's perfect that two Spanish players play the final because it shows that we have a good level. And
yeah, we've had two Spanish national champions recently, Alejandro Gomez over in the UK, and then now you, Javier. It's been so good.
That's an opportunity that see that Spain has a good level. I would like next year or some in the next year that we could have a national.
Well, I mean, you've also got the opportunity now to go to the World Championships with two European national champions there. Do you think Spain have a chance to take the title?
Yeah.
Do you think that Spain has a chance to become world champions? Do you think you can do it? Go all the way?
It's difficult because players from United States, Japan, and other players that are classified in Europe are very good. And it's true that we have very good players like Alex, Rios, or me, but it's very difficult.
Well, I think you can do it. You put in a really great performance here, and we're so excited to have you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for playing so well, and thank you for winning. It's been amazing. So, guys, this has been Javier Señorena. He is your Italian national champion for 2016. Guys, we're going to kick it to a short break for 2 minutes. Don't go anywhere. We're back to wrap the show. And one final time, trainers, welcome back. Italian National Championship 2016 is now over. I am Jay Blake. I'm joined one final time by Marcus Statter.
Yeah, the very last time, at least for this season,
yeah,
I guess. So, yeah, it's been so much fun casting those events. We had 3 incredible tournaments.
3 incredible champions.
Yes, exactly. 3 incredible teams. And I think there is a lot of more incredible things that we also had.
The cup overflows. We've had a great national championship in the UK in Liverpool, a great German championship in Kassel, and now Milan has finally finished. We've got Javier Señorena as your Italian national champion. It's been amazing, guys. But remember that the conversation doesn't really stop about Play Pokémon. If you continue to go onto Twitter, use the hashtag PlayPokémon, or go onto Facebook.com/Pokémon, or if you go onto YouTube.com/Pokémon, you can still catch up with all the VGC action from previous events and also see the upcoming news for other events that we've got going on.
Yeah, I already checked a little bit what is going on social media. Seems like a lot of people were in fact liking the fact that we saw some unusual Pokemon in there. Of course, for the audience, that's probably a lot more interesting to watch, as if it was always the same. But yeah, we did see Mienshao take the title. Togekiss, Aegislash. I could list his team just so often, you know.
I mean, how many times are you going to hit those high jump kicks? We've seen Jumpluff hitting loads of sleep powders today. We've seen loads of high jump kicks from Mienshao, which is not something you really expect coming out of a VGC 16 tournament.
Yeah, so of course, while this is the last tournament of the European circuit, that doesn't mean that the Play Pokemon action stops entirely, because of course we will also have some more events coming up. The US National Championship over in Columbus, 1st to the 3rd of July, 3 days full packed of Pokemon action.
And then speaking of full packed Pokemon action, it's the one to watch, guys. It's going to be the World Championships in San Francisco, California, the 19th to the 21st of August, and it's going to be an amazing event. If you're in the area at that point or you want to make a good trip for Pokemon's sake, you definitely need to go.
Yeah, now after this tournament, all the invite for the first and for the second day for European players are set in stone. Now people can plan their trips, of course, to the World Championships. But from us, yeah,
I mean, this has been our last event. Well, it seems like we've been joined by the rest of the EU stream team for VGC, and I just want to say, guys, it's been a pleasure commentating with you all. I hope everyone at home has enjoyed these events. We've had great times in UK, in Germany, and in Italy, and it's going to be goodbye from me.
Yeah, goodbye from me, and
goodbye from all of us.
All of us, yeah.
Guys, remember to watch other streams, enjoy Pokemon, and we'll see you around.
See you guys.